Hey everybody, I'm Laura Berman Fortgang back here Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern for Friday Focus. Today we're going to talk about fear and fear of making the wrong decision, because no one has the fear of making the right decision, do they? And I come up with these topics for Fridays based on what's going on in my coaching practice or in what I'm seeing every day, week to week. And this last week I working with my client base, but also had the free Career Clarity Reboot Week in the last 10 days or so, and also sitting with a lot of people who are making decisions about should they join our online experience, should they come and take the next step with us and figure out what they want to do with their life. So I've been spending a lot of time in observing people in the fear of making the wrong decision. So if that's you, if you're faced with possibly a job that you're not sure if you want to take, or you are wondering if you should invest in yourself for professional development, or you should invest in your business, I'm going to give you an acronym today to help you make better decisions, or decisions that you can trust. That's really what I'm looking for you. What I want for you is that you don't question yourself, that you have a mechanism for making decisions that doesn't lead you to have all this anxiety. I mean, I can relate to how hard it is sometimes to know if you're making the right decision, and all the feelings in your body and what keeps you up at night. So let's see if we can do something about this. Okay, so the acronym is CHOICE, CHOICE. So follow along. C in choice, criteria. What is the criteria for your decision? Lots of times when I'm talking to people who might become a client to figure out what to do with their life, I say, well, what's your criteria for happiness in a job? And most people can't answer that. So we need to have criteria for making this decision. Is your criteria about the return on your investment? Is the criteria about your happiness? Is the criteria, in my case, or as a student of the Course in Miracles, Google that if you don't know what it is. Marianne Williamson is one of the most prominent teachers around the Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles says there's really only two thoughts: fear or love. So I'll often look at the criteria for my decision of like, am I making this decision out of fear, or am I making this decision from a loving place, or a place of believing myself and trusting my wiser self? All right. So what is your criteria for making a decision? You need to decide that. H, have faith in yourself. Look at your track record. Have you let yourself down a lot? If you have a track record of like you make good decisions, most of them are worked out, glad you married the person, or committed to the person, or bought the house, or had a kid, or whatever. Look at your own track record and find confidence in the decisions you've made before. Now, if you're someone who's made a lot of decisions that led to things you weren't happy with, we need to tighten that criteria. We need to tighten up some of the other skills around making decisions. So H is have faith in yourself. Either way, when you make just good decisions or you've made some bad. Oh, observe your monkey mind. Okay, so the monkey mind is the Buddhists call your busy, chattery mind. Observe it. What are your mental habits? Are you always one to second guess yourself, question, ask a million people? You want to watch out for the word should. Long-standing joke in the coaching profession is don't should on yourself, because when we should, it's usually because somebody else said so. A good person, a smart person, a high achieving person would do X, Y, or Z, or a good daughter, or a good father, or a good son, whatever it is that we should ourselves about. And let's look at guilt. Observe your monkey mind around guilt. I think there's good guilt and bad guilt. Good guilt is trying to tell you that you'll form a regret. There'll be a regret here if you don't do this. But bad guilt sounds just like the monkey mind. Oh, if you're a good person, you do this. Or, people who do this, do that. Like anytime you're feeling guilty in the, you look like this when you're making the decision, bad guilt. All right. We're at the letter I for intuition. Include your intuition in these decisions, right? So many people will know in their gut it's the right thing, but then drive themselves crazy logically, right? So our logical left brain, it's even our ego mind, it's that fearful mind that wants to keep you safe. Don't take a chance. That's terrible. Don't take a risk. You lose everything, right? So you have to try to calm your nervous system and think about your intuition and see if you can hear that inner voice. And really, it's a matter of knowing what feels right versus just what you're thinking is right. All right. And that leads me to my next letter, C in choice. clarity of feeling. Do you know what fear feels like in your body? And do you know what excitement or wonder feels like in your body? I have quoted my old acting teacher, Kate McGregor Stewart, like a dozen times in the last 2 weeks. She used to say, I was her student, obviously acting. She'd say, fear is just excitement without the oxygen. Okay, so fear is just excitement without the oxygen. So breathe. And can you tell the difference in your body between fear, fight or flight, and excitement? Or being just, a little flummoxed by the unknown. All right? So clarity of feeling, discern what fear feels like in your body, discern what excitement feels like in your body. It's okay to have a little of both, right? To be really excited about something, but be like, oh my God, I don't know how this is going to go, right? So this is another thing, and I probably should have said this at the beginning. People want guarantees when they're making decisions. Like, tell me I'm guaranteed that this is going to work out. That cannot happen. There are no guarantees. There's even sometimes you make decisions and it feels right in every way, and it turns out to not be what you expected it to be. And now another thing is reframing failure or wrong choices. Yes, they stink. Yes, they can cost you. But at the same time, each one is a lesson. Each one is a discovery for the next thing. Each one shows you and reveals something new. So we have to reframe that too. Okay, so I left off at C, clarity of feeling. E, evaluate your support. Who supports you? What are your supporters saying? Okay, because this is one thing you need to know. If you're someone who needs to talk to a lot of people, that's not a terrible thing. But remember, other people are going to project their fears on you. Other people are going to say, you're crazy. And one of my mottos is, when everyone is telling you you're crazy, you're on the right track. Because you kick up other people's fears. You're going to walk away from that? You're going to choose this thing that might be less money? You're going to be an artist? How could you do that, right? That's them. That's not you. So be careful and evaluate the kind of support you get from your supporters. All right, so fear of making the wrong decision. Again, there's no guarantees in life. You have to learn to trust yourself. And let's go through that real quick. CHOICE. Criteria. Having faith in yourself. Observe your monkey mind. Realize what are just bad habits. Intuition included in the decision. Get clarity in what fear feels like and excitement feels like, and evaluate the support that you're getting. Is it true support or is it other people's projections onto you? So folks, can you really make a wrong decision? Yes, decisions have consequences, but I want you to trust yourself and trust that you are a smart person who's kept yourself alive for a long, long time, and that each decision teaches you something else about yourself. So here's to making a lot of wonderful decisions, and I will see you next time. Thanks for being here.